Hey everyone, welcome back to another lecture. Today, someone was asking me about what exactly is the higher self. So, I'm going to give you my best understanding of the higher self. Keep in mind, this is based upon my experience. I am not the Word of God. I am not saying this is everything I know or this is all that is being in existence. I'm just expressing what it is in my understanding up to this point in my career of helping people. So, first of all, you have to understand that the higher self itself is actually a concept, is just a belief. It doesn't really exist as another entity or a deity that you have to worship. So, I like to use this metaphor to help people, okay? I want you to imagine that you are about to play a virtual reality video game. Let's just imagine there's a state of the art virtual reality video game, and once you put the helmet on, you forget everything you know about the life you're in now, and you literally become the character. Now, let's say the character's purpose is to go fight dragons and be a knight, okay? So you put the helmet on, you go into the video game, and while you're in the video game, you become, let's say, Sir Lancelot, and your mission is to fight dragons. Now, while you're in the video game, you actually forget who you really are in the real world. And you forget that there's things called cities, and you forget that there's the ocean and the desert, and like Boston, New York, LA, Shanghai, all these different cities are in existence. You forget all of that. You forget your parents, you forget the school you were in, and all you know is that you're Lancelot. And all you know is that you're in this kingdom and you've been given this mission, right? So now I want you to imagine now that you believe you're literally Lancelot, this video game character, and now you have to go through the challenges of the game. You have to get stronger, you have to learn lessons, you have to defeat the dragon. Now, how do I explain to you in the game that you're really someone else who's more powerful? How do I explain to you that Lancelot isn't really who you are, but you're this being that exists in another reality, and this being is all powerful, and this being has infinite knowledge of many things that are far beyond what Lancelot could ever comprehend? That is very, very difficult to do. So the next best thing is to call it a higher self. So I would say to Lancelot, I would say to you, there's a part of you that exists in a different reality, and this is called your higher self. Does that make any sense? So let's say, for instance, that before you played the video game, you played the video game with the intention and the understanding that you were going to lose your memory of who you were before you played the video game. And the reason you chose to do this is because you believed it would make the experience more realistic for you, and you believed that you would learn more of a lesson by doing this. Are you guys following me what I'm saying here? Okay, so stay with me. I am going somewhere with this. Okay, so let's say now you knew, let's say now that your character Lancelot in the video game, let's say he becomes injured or he needs help doing something. For this help to come to you, your consciousness would have to be once again shifted back to the real world so that you can make changes in the video game. So let's say, like, for you as Lancelot to heal, you would need to shift your awareness back to who you really are as you're playing the video game, so you can put special codes healing your character, and then you can return back to the game. Does that make any sense? This is just a metaphor that I'm using, okay? So when we do a higher self session with Lancelot, literally what we're doing is we are shifting your awareness back to who you really are, which is the person outside of the video game, and it's giving you access to all the cheat codes, all the special powers that you need, and then you can go back to the game. Does that make any sense? All right. So in a sense, the higher self works the same way on this planet, on this realm. Essentially, you experiencing this here is basically you forgetting who you are, you forgetting all the lifetimes you've had before this, you forgetting how you're connected to the universe, you forgetting that there's millions of other realities and dimensions and planets, and you forgetting all of the greatness and the power of what you once were, so that you can enter the game called Earth, and then you can have the illusion that you're just this character. Okay? Are you following me here? So when people start complaining that the higher self made them suffer or made them experience this, what they're really complaining about is their own choice. They just forgot. They forgot that they chose to come and have this experience. Does that make any sense to you guys? So when we're doing a higher self session or we're doing a quantum healing session, what we're essentially doing is we're shifting your awareness so that you're going just beyond who you believe you are to that part of yourself, the real you, that exists on another level of consciousness, that has access to all the information, that is able to enter the cheat codes to make you heal, or to manipulate the energy, to do all this stuff, because none of this is real to begin with. Doesn't make any sense. Now, these are some like very intense metaphysical concepts, and I'm not expecting you to blindly believe everything I'm saying. I'm just explaining to you, and I'm sharing with you my understanding of what the higher self is, based upon my own experiences and my working on refining the technique. So when you have the higher self speak through you, what you're really doing is you're having the real you speak through you. And this is why the information will sometimes come as downloads of information, or when it is really speaking through you. And some people lose consciousness. They're not really losing consciousness. They're just losing the illusion of the character that they are, and they're becoming who they really are in speaking. And then when they go back to the character again, it creates the illusion of something speaking through you, but it was actually always you speaking through yourself. Does that make any sense? So the question is then who are you really? Are you the higher self, or are you the character in the game? And the answer is both. You're actually both the character and you're the higher self. You're just at different points of attention, which creates the illusion of who you are. Or, I mean, the illusions of limitations of who you are. So right now your point of awareness is strictly on the character or your life that you're experiencing now. And when you're connecting with the higher self, it's literally removing your focused perception from the video game back to the character of who you really are, so that you can access all the information, you can access the lessons, you can access the understanding, you can access the power. Because you in your infinite true form, you're just extraordinarily more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Does that make any sense to you? So I invite you to stop thinking of the higher self as a deity or as a special thing that you must worship outside of yourself. People think that way based upon a society that really encourages us to project our power. So when we think of a higher self, most people can't comprehend the idea that they're so powerful that they can just fix themselves instantly. It's much easier for them to comprehend or conceptualize the idea of themselves conceptualize the idea that there's a being on the other side that can help you. But in reality, this belief or this concept was created so it's easier for you to understand, because in the form that you're in now, you've forgotten how powerful you really are, and you've forgotten that you're not just your body and you're not just the current experience you're having now. So I hope this answers your question. Leave your thoughts and your comments below. Let me know if you like more on this, and I look forward to making more videos for you guys. All right, take care and be well. Oh, and okay.